promote. Now, we were pretty vague in the requirements, just said change the appearance somehow. But whatever we do, we need to attach an event listener to this rascal, don't we? So when we build the list item, we add an event listener for remove. Let's do another one. For button.promote. When it is clicked, let's add one called promote student. We'll again need to bind it to this, won't we? Yes, Uncle Dad, we sure will. What great class participation. Promote students. Gets an event. It's a property, so don't forget the comma. There's no default behavior to prevent. Clicking a button doesn't do a gosh darn thing until you attach something to it. Bet we need to grab that LI again, don't we? So we'll just do it the same way. And then we just want to change the way it's displayed somehow. How about li.style.background color up? That'll be camel cased in JavaScript. Is, how about FFA807? Nice, pretty gold. Now, if yours isn't making it gold in your editor, that's an extension for VS Code. It is linked from the website on the tools page. Pretty handy. So my nonsense name here convinced Chrome that this page is in check. So I apparently accidentally typed in a really common check name. I don't know. Yeah, let's see. Translate. How helpful. It's exactly the same. Show original. All right. Anyway. Hey, look at that. Just like magic. Now, this is getting pretty picky, but I think that gray border looks kind of lame when the background's gold. So I'm going to also say li style border color equals FFC656. I don't know why I typed these as capital letters. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah, now it's a nice lighter shade of center. See, then, man, these kinds of details, man, they're real important. It's just not acceptable before. Now what happens when I refresh the page? It goes away, right? We need to persist this. This is part of our state. We need our data to reflect that the student has been promoted. Well, how the heck do we do that? So what if this student object that we've been throwing around had another property called promoted, and we set it to true when we promote them? I've been scrolling around like crazy. I don't remember where is promote student anyway. There it is. So we need to grab that student out of the array again. You know what? When we're building the list item, we have the student. I wish we could just pass it into promote student. But we're not the ones calling promote student. It's calling it automatically when an event occurs, right? Well, guess what bind can do? In addition to binding something to this, you can also tell it what arguments to pass in. So we could say bind this comma, student. And it'll pass that in as an argument. Now we're already receiving one argument, the event, right? Here's a neat little trick. Let's throw debugger in here. Clicky, clicky. Let's type. Maybe it might not do it to me when I'm in the console here. I'm going to try arguments. Yeah. Arguments, I see. Okay, the first thing looks like the student. The second thing is the event. So the event handler is going to pass in the event as the last argument. So, promote student. Student comes first. My students always come first. Then the event. So now I don't have to go digging through that array. So we could have saved ourselves some trouble on remove too. So how about, in addition to changing all these pretty colors, we say student dot promoted equals true. Now promoted isn't a property that we've defined before. Can we do this? Yeah. You can add a property this way. Just assign it to something. Refresh. Let's promote Matt. To make up for the fact that I forget his name every single day, but I've forgotten it for the last time, by golly. See how I made eye contact immediately? It's Matt. Obviously that's Matt. Look at him. Just screams Matt. Now if I look at megaroster.students, let's look at the first one. Promoted true. So when I refresh the page, it still will be, right? No. We didn't save that in local storage, did we? So let's save it in local storage. This dot save. Refresh the page. We're still not gold. If you look at mega roster students. There it is. Well, yeah, we needed to do this first, right? Now refresh the page. Check out mega roster students. Promoted is true, but he's still not gold. How shall we deal with this? We have to do a little extra work when we load, aren't we? Load. Okay, so we add all this junk. We reverse it. Map it. Call add student. Add student does some stuff. Builds the list item. So it seems to me when it builds the list item, it needs to check the value of promoted and act accordingly. Now, this here seems like a bit much. I don't want to manually do this. And at some point, we're going to make this thing toggle, turning promotion on and off. And I don't want to have to set them back to whatever. How about instead, when they're promoted, it adds a class of promoted. And these two rules are part of that. So let's say dot promoted. So anything with a class of promoted gets a background color, colon, that's not a string. The color is an actual value. And we do not camel case, we dasherize. There we go. Promoted class. Now before we looked at the class name property in JavaScript and fiddled around with that string to add and remove class names. But we do have this class list, which is an array looking deal. Let's look at this guy. Spec the li. That assigns it to $0. $0 dot class list. Class list. Enter does not autocomplete. In the DevTools console, it does encode, but you have to hit tab here. All right. So we see it's array-ish. It has 0 and clear fix, but can we say $0 dot class list dot push promoted? We cannot, but we can say add. Now look at the class list, and it's there. Now I don't think we refresh the page, but what if I add it again? It's only there once. So class list add is actually a little smarter than push. It won't add the same one twice. How much bet there's a remove? Of course there is. So we worked a little harder than we needed to the other day. But it was good practice with string manipulation. So what we want to happen is li.classlist.add promoted. And when we are building the list item the first time, if student dot promoted li dot class list add promoted. Refresh. There we go. Let's do Adam. Refresh. Yeah. Turn off mat. Oh, we can't turn it off yet. It doesn't toggle. All right. So, how should we make it toggle? Ideas. What do you think, Ryan? Can I call you RCam? What do you think, RCam? What does your scarf tell you? All right. So how about when we call promote, wherever it is, promote student. Instead of setting promoted to true, how about we just set it to the opposite of whatever it is right now? So promoted equals the opposite of promoted. Now we need to do that before we add the class, don't we? So let's do that. And then if student.promoted, once we've done that, add promoted. Otherwise, let's remove that class. If we call remove and it's not there, that's okay. It's not going to freak out or anything. Get it? So we set promoted to whatever it isn't currently. And then we either add or remove the class based on whether it's promoted once we've made that change. If you wanted, you could change this from promote student to toggle promotion or something like that to be a little more accurate. Refresh the page. Yeah. If we turn it off the page, does it persist? Yep. Turn it back on. Persists. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it on. Refresh. Oh man. This is so rad. We did it, team. Implement student promotion.